it's been kind of an eye-opener to know that all that information is available.
And it's been really exciting just to get experience and exposure to things that I wouldn't normally have gotten exposure to.
I've learned how to do email, learned how to write like HTML, design my home pages.
I can't conceive of education from this point in time on as being anything like what it was before.
The University of Washington today is a lot different than it used to be. Information technology now allows students to connect in entirely new ways with each other and with the world beyond the university.
Technology is changing society, is changing education. And we are preparing our students from the very beginning to make not only use but advanced use of computers, of the World Wide Web, teaching them not just how to use a tool, but again, a new proficiency.
How are these new connections improving education? Here are a few examples of the way UW's rich, networked environment is benefiting students and the community at large.
Please, right, back, choose 3, sir.
Adaptive technology and specially trained staff help students with special needs connect with information and other people.
I have a visual impairment, and I use a IBM-compatible PC, and I use some adaptive equipment. I use a speech output synthesizer, and it tells you what's on the screen.
26, 21, 11, directory 1.
Okay, that's directory 1. That's what's on. Yeah. And then I use a large print program called Zoom Text, which enlarges it for you.
A remarkable program called Do It encourages local high school students with disabilities to pursue careers in science, engineering, and mathematics. Do It recently won a national award for innovative use of the internet.
Well, my computers already help me achieve independence. Getting online is a source of information, and that'll probably be easier for me to do papers.
UWired is an excellent example of how technology promotes connections in everyday college courses. This program combines UW's outstanding library resources with the technical expertise of campus computing to create exciting, interactive learning experiences for undergraduates. Through UWired, students from a variety of disciplines use email and the internet to complete class assignments and communicate with instructors and fellow students.
I made an invitation to my students to collaborate with me in making presentations of course content to the rest of the class. I invited them to study the material, do explorations of the knowledge that could be gained regarding each of those topics that we were covering through the course, and come to me with examples of what they found, and invited them to join me in presenting these to the rest of the class.
We did weekly projects for our fisheries class, and instead of taking a quiz every week, we researched on the internet and found related topics to what we were learning that week, and we would use what we found and display it to the class.
Athletes involved in UWired use laptop computers while on the road. They connect remotely with campus to complete research assignments and submit homework. The real spirit of UWired is collaboration. Students are strongly encouraged to work together in groups and to share information.
I think creating the community of small learning groups in a big university is one of the real potentials of this technology.
For students interested in pursuing careers in technology, the Department of Computer Science and Engineering offers cutting-edge courses. Students can work with the very latest equipment and with experts in their chosen fields.
Our project is a 4-legged walking robot, and we used 5 microcontrollers, 1 on the top and 4 on the sides.
Toast.
How light?
Medium.
Using setting, medium. Reverse.
This is the first time in the 477 course that a speech recognition chip has been used. How this chip works is the user records voice clips onto the chip.
Please say toast.
Toast.
Please say toast.
Toast.
When the chip is in recognition mode, it will take the voice clip that's heard on the microphone and match it as closely as possible to one of the words in its vocabulary.
Raising. Steady. Slower.
Thank you, Toaster.
These kinds of hands-on projects help students connect with future employers.
The University of Washington really stands out as an institution that understands the importance of, again, the overlap between the academic and the industrial worlds. UW students tend to be much more grounded in the real-world problems and applications of interest to Intel.
An innovative multidisciplinary course in computer animation is offered to teams of undergraduates from art and computer science and engineering. University faculty co-teach this course with professionals from the animation industry.
I would never have believed at the beginning of the class that we could produce the animation that we ended up producing. The entire class worked together to make a production quality animated short.
The technology that we were offered in this class is really way above anything that we've worked with before.
With proficiencies in information technology, students are better equipped to connect with faculty through research. Even undergraduates can participate in the creation of new knowledge.
I think it's very important that students begin to view themselves as generators rather than recipients of knowledge. At a large research university, if it works well, all undergraduates should have access during their academic careers to activities which bring them together in groups to address problems that are inherently interdisciplinary, inherently meaningful, preferably of relevance to the community as a whole or to the world at large, and promote a kind of professional and intellectual development which is unique.
Making world-class connections requires a world-class computing organization. The university's central computing service is the heart of the electronic environment on campus. But even more than that, it's the hub for internet access for the entire Northwest. This group provides high-speed internet connectivity to all educational institutions and major industries across 6 states, from North Dakota all the way to Alaska.
What's impressive to us, I think, is that we've been able to keep at least abreast, if not maybe one step ahead of the resource demands that have been brought on us by the popularity of internet and computing services, things like the World Wide Web, multimedia, video, audio, things like that.
Computing staff support over 60,000 users on campus and handle nearly 500,000 email messages per day. Because UW is a national leader in the creation and management of internet technology, our staff regularly are asked to share their expertise outside the university. The K20 network, recently funded by the Washington State Legislature, will link UW to other baccalaureate schools, community and technical colleges, and K-12 schools through educational service districts. This network will create new opportunities to share resources and improve telecommunications.
We are now beginning to develop new partnerships with community colleges and other four-year schools around the state to extend the opportunities that we can offer at the University of Washington to distant sites.
The state legislature also funded the Cooperative Library Project, which will link library systems for 6 state universities. Students and the community will have access to the collections in all these libraries through integrated search programs. Video technology plays an increasingly important role in connecting the university to students at distant sites. U-Wired and distance education currently rely on videotaped lectures shown on the university's local cable channel. These lectures are available to students and the general public from remote locations and at convenient times.
Action!
UWTV also produces individual programs that instructors can use to add a visual dimension to a course or to create a true multimedia experience.
And here we go, roll camera.
Information technology allows us to break through barriers of space and time and build stronger partnerships with industry and other educational institutions.
It's one continuum. If we create companies with our technology on the one hand, then we have to be helping to ensure that it's our children, the children of the region, who can participate in the companies that are benefiting from that technology.
Exposure to the principles of information technology and experience with an infrastructure that is well managed, well defined, such as we have here at University of Washington, gives them just the type of background that allows them to work very effectively when they come to a place like Intel.
Certainly Microsoft and a lot of the technology-related companies in this area are dependent on the University of Washington and other state institutions in the state of Washington providing a lot of talent for the positions that we have, and everyone is going to have to be very skilled at using technology, and so exposure at the university level for these students is very important as an introduction to how powerful these tools are.
The new technologies are powerful, and the connections we make now are only a beginning. At the University of Washington, we want to give students skills and information that will serve them in the technological world of the future.
This year we brought in over 4,000 freshmen, and they'll be the first class to graduate in the 21st century. I believe that the greatest challenge that we face is preparing them for a future that we can't even imagine.